Hi, hello YouTube. Back at it again, my third video. Today we're going to talk about the Rolex 24, the Rally Monte Carlo, and just a couple other general motorsports news. So we're going to kick it off with the Rolex 24. In the first lap of the race, it kicked off with a pretty massive wreck in the lap one. We saw the United Auto Sports, the TDS Motorsports, the Ferrari, and the BMW 96 all collide together into that turn one. Not much damage, kind of ruined some of the days, but just overall, just kind of a crappy way to start the 24 hours, especially of one of the Grand Slam races. Uh, we also saw a 6 hour caution, which kind of struck some of the night racing down, but that caution was due to fog, and it was also the longest caution in any motorsports race, and it kind of interesting. An interesting record to be broken, but kind of diluted the night races, which is the night racing, which is like the spectacle of endurance racing. Uh, we saw some great racing. All the leads were, I think, down less than was 7 seconds. Uh, so it's really cool, especially after 24 hours of racing, just to be within 7 seconds of everybody. Within 7 seconds of the leader is just great racing. And it just shows the capabilities of all the cars now and just how far these cars have come. Because like years ago, it had been multiple laps down if anybody even finished. It's just shows how the technology has come along the way. We saw the overall winner being Porsche Penske. Their third straight victory. It's sad to see them get out of the WEC just because of all the dominance they've had at Le Mans and just all these other great endurance tracks. It's sad to see them go, but it's good to see them here staying in IMSA, which is a great endurance series itself with the Petit Le Mans serving and obviously the Rolex 24. Just great racing in general in IMSA, and just shows the what the United States has to offer in not just NASCAR but just, road course racing and sports car racing. Uh, we saw Connor Zilisch last year. He won the LMP class last year at the Daytona, but coming in second in that Willing Cadillac behind Porsche Penske in the overall performance in the GTP class. CrowdStrike winning the LMP this year, just a dominant performance from CrowdStrike. It was good to see, you know, an American team win something. Just we didn't see no Ford, Chevrolet, or anything like that get some victories, but we saw Paul Miller in the BMW with a shocking win. I was honestly expecting a victory from Chevrolet there, the in the Corvette, but it just didn't go as planned. And then in the GTP class, we saw Mercedes win with a very close race all the way towards the end with Aston Martin. I think it was within like 1 second, but it was just a last lap. It was just a great battle to the end with Aston Martin but Mercedes ends up pulling it out in the GTP class. Now over to Rally Monte Carlo, it was just pure Toyota dominance. We saw Oscar Solberg win by a total of 51 seconds behind his Toyota counterparts. But it was just a great performance in just multiple stages from ice to roads, and it just rally in general is just a great motorsports to watch. Just the atmosphere from the fireworks and the pyro and the crowds, and just the fans being so close to the action. It's the only motorsport where like the fans can actually be part of the action. We saw earlier into the rally, I think day one or day two, where a Hyundai car spin off track and spun off some ice and fell into some snow. And we saw the fans push the car out of the snow. And it's cool to see rally incorporate the fans like that. And yes, it's a lot. It's very dangerous for the fans being so close to the action with just no guardrails or anything like you see in F1, NASCAR, and all these other motorsports. But it just shows the passion that these rally fans, especially in Eastern Europe, have for this motorsport. Uh, it's just a great way to kick off the rally season. I'm not real big in the rally. I'm learning it as we go on. Uh, this is my second or third year watching it, just still getting into it. Big Ford fan though. They didn't produce the great Monte Carlo rally. I think they had two cars in it, and both of them finishing near the bottom. None of them in the top 10 to score points. Other point scoring teams, I think, were Skoda and Skoda and Hyundai were the only other point scoring teams besides Toyota in this rally. So it looks like there's just a few manufacturers that dominate, and yeah. So hopefully Ford can get something going. I know back in the day they were a pretty dominant team, but they just got to get back into their move. So in some other motorsports news, we heard that Donald Trump announced with the Department of Transportation that IndyCar will be doing the Freedom 500 at the National Mall in Washington D.C. So it's going to be great to see for it's being the 250th year of the United States, the NASCAR doing the San Diego military base track race, road course race, and then here in IndyCar doing the national the Capitol, doing a race at the Capitol for the 250th year anniversary. Yes, it'll be here in August, but it's going to be amazing just to have a motorsport at the Capitol, and it will probably just really accelerate the growth of IndyCar, a sport that really needs some growth right now. IndyCar has the potential to be a great top level, like top tier motorsport internationally, dude. But it just doesn't. It's just missing something, dude. They need to get more manufacturers in because right now it's just Chevrolet and Honda, and there's been rumors Honda's considering leaving and heading over to NASCAR. So IndyCar definitely needs an overhaul, and it has a long way to go, but there's something there. You can't you love it. It's pure American motorsports, oval racing with open wheel cars. It's amazing motorsport. Um, so yeah, hopefully this can bring some growth to the motorsport, and we'll see what happens with that. It's great to see that the United States government is even throwing in. The taxpayers will not be paying anything; it'll all be covered by IndyCar, similar to the UFC event. But just to have this at the Capitol will be a great a testament for American motorsports. So also we've received some news that Jenson Button, F1 champion, will be considering driving in the San Diego truck race. And this continues to just add to the list of big names coming to the truck series. I don't know what NASCAR's doing with this truck series, but they're making it into something big. Just getting big names in here. I would love to see Juan Pablo Montoya race, F1 legend, IndyCar legend, runner up in IndyCar. He tied 1 year in IndyCar, lost the championship. Not sure to who, but had some great performances in NASCAR as well. It's he's one of the few guys who could transition over from F1 to NASCAR and actually succeed. Though he didn't win a NASCAR championship or anything, he's still one of the guys who succeeded. But love to see him. So it if NASCAR can continue to pull over these international names, big names, it will grow internationally. We see NASCAR grow overseas, especially after the Le Mans turnout in the Garage 56. Uh, we see the NASCAR European Series. NASCAR has other series like Brazil, Mexico, Canada, and putting a foothold in these international markets. And if they continue to grow, NASCAR could potentially be an international motorsport. Not saying it will be up there with F1, but it will be competing up there with F1. And finally, we are getting into F1 testing in these past couple days. Once it's over, Thursday, when I make the second video for the week, we'll definitely be able to give some more insight. We're seeing the first signs of what Cadillac has to offer. Engine sounds great. Lap times need to improve a little bit if they want to compete with the likes of Audi and Haas and these other lower level teams. But there's still a lot of time left in this before the season gets underway, and we can just see what they can do. They're a newer team, so it's just you know, it's just see what they can do. I'm not expecting points scored this year or anything, but if if they want to compete, if they want to be able to compete and show what the United States has to offer, granted they're in a Ferrari engine until 2030, I'd assume, I think, but they just got a lot of work to do to get at a level to where they're actually able to compete. And with the driver already starting from the back of the grid automatically for the first race, it's not a real good sign that, Cadillac is in a position to where they're going to need to be if they want to be able to compete by the start of this season. So that's all we're going to talk about for today. I have some future plans I want to talk about this channel and get into what I have in mind to help you gather some growth and more engagement with some fans and just people in general. So I'm obviously I attend motorsports races all the time. I go to a few a year at least. I'm going to vlog from some dirt track races this year once it starts warming up, especially in North Georgia and Eastern Tennessee. We're going to go to the Cars Tour race in Nashville at the fairgrounds here in May, and I will also be attending the Nashville Truck Race. I'm a huge fan of the Truck Series. Don't get me wrong, a little biased towards it, but it's just great racing in general. Should not have let my hands go. But I will also be attending Talladega, the Spring Talladega race. So I will look to get some content from all of those races. There's probably going to be more in the future, but the Petit Le Mans is a possibility this year. So hopefully we can get something there, and it'll just add to the list over time. Once I get some more money coming in, student loans ain't helping out right now. We'll try to get to some bigger events. I hope to go. It's a bucket list dream to go to the Daytona 500 and the Rolex 24. So we'll just see what's going to happen and with those races. So hopefully we can get some. I also plan to do a NASCAR 25 league. So if you have NASCAR 25 on PC, just I'll figure out a way. I'll start a Discord for my channel, and we can get in there playing something out, and everything will be live streamed. There'll be a 10 race series, and winner. I'll figure out something. That winner will get free tickets to a Cup Series race. I plan on doing fantasy NASCAR. So if you're interested, comment below, and I will put out a link eventually in my next video, definitely before the NASCAR season starts, to where we can do that. Some rewards will be given there as well. And finally, I look to have some guest appearances. I have some friends who are in the motorsports. We'll start out small, just adding some of my friends in the motorsports. Let them come on for a little Zoom meeting and talk about their predictions from across motorsports, who they like, what got them in the motorsports, and you know their plans for motorsports. I have a friend who's helping me out along the way, this MCM motorsports shebang, trying to get racing and stuff. He's basically gonna be my team principal. But yeah, he'll talk about what our plans are for this motorsports thing, and just yeah. So I appreciate y'all staying with me. It's work in progress, still learning to talk and drive at the same time. But yeah, I appreciate it, y'all. Let's go.